In this video, guys, we're going to look at, does it really matter what type of moving average you use to make your trade? Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. All right, so does it really matter which moving average you're using on your charts? Now, I'm going to split the moving averages up into three broad categories. We'll hit the screens in a moment. You've got the slow moving average, you've got the medium and the fast. And I think there's distinct different buckets that you place your moving averages into. However, I think once you're in that bucket, to start meddling and tweaking and going with 104 period over 100 can become a little bit like you're using a lot of mental resources for no real gain. So I want to show you that by going to the screen in a moment, and we'll see which kind of moving averages we can put in each different bucket. So our fast, our medium and our slow, how we'll use those and why we don't really want to overthink it too much. Let's hit the screens. All right guys, so I have a NZD USD in front of me. It could be anything, it doesn't really matter. And so the reason I like to categorize moving averages into buckets is so that we don't overthink what we're trying to do. I see a lot of people, I know guys, I've been down this rabbit hole myself at the beginning of my career. You're trying to find the holy grail, you're trying to find the sweet spot. You think, oh, if I use a 52 period as opposed to a 50, that's going to give me better signals. It doesn't work like that. So I would tend to categorize the slow moving averages, we've got a daily chart here by the way, as anything from kind of 50, so if you put a 50 on, to maybe like a 200 or something like that. Obviously anything over 50, so if you're going 500 then fine. So let's put a few moving averages in now. On TradingView, of course, very simple to use a moving average. It's very simple on most platforms. I don't think there's any chart platform that doesn't have a moving average. So we'll just add a couple in here. Let's add a few in here so we've got them all up and ready. Okay, so we have this one here, which we're going to put in as a 100 period. Okay, and we're going to put this one here as a 200 period. And I'm going to just put the blinkers down, blinkers? The eyelid down on all of these. Okay, so you can see now this is a slower moving average. Now 50 might be, you might almost be in the medium range there, but you see what we're trying to do. We're trying to look at the broader trend. We've got a daily chart, we're trying to look at the 50 period moving average. The 200 period moving average is obviously very, very smoothed off. And you start to see, especially when you start to look at things that have been trending aggressively. So let's go to, say, the Dow, for example, strong trend to the downside, pushing back up, and this is kind of something that's not hit for months and months and months. And the 50 gets hit less and less and less. But if we go back to our currencies, let's hit the USD JPY. Actually, we're on entered the USD, we're stick with that. So this is good for keeping you in a broad trend. When you start to look at the bigger picture and you start to perhaps want to position, this is when you see economic themes ruling the market or fundamental themes ruling the market. To me, when you look at these slow moving averages, these are defined by underlying sentiments that take a long time to resolve, i.e. the profitability of a company over a couple of years, the economic situation for a currency pair, those kind of things, the interest rates, those are things that give the underlying push and drive. So put those in a kind of slow category. Now, if we were to go, if we just narrow those down a bit, if we were to go and look at, say, a medium. Now, for me, a medium is going to be anything probably from 20 up to 50. So we put a 20 on, we put a kind of 30 on, and then we put on a 40. Now, what I also want to show you guys is that, and this is for kind of smaller trends, but you're going to get this maybe coming back within a week or so into a pullback, 10 days, two weeks or something. So whilst you look at the difference, one of the things that is worth pointing out here is that when we're in the medium category, i.e. anything from a 20 to a 40, you could maybe say a 15, maybe say a 10. There's no rules set in stone here, but I like to bucket them like this. There's not much difference when you start to move the moving averages. Now obviously the further you go away, further price moves away, the wider the spread on these moving averages is. But under normal conditions, don't forget this is the coronavirus kind of move, under normal conditions, the spread isn't that wide. And so when you start changing, obviously when you change from 20 to 40, you're doubling it. You know, we can't ignore that situation. But if you're moving, let's say, from a 20 to a 30, or even, you know, some people are moving from like a 20 to a 23 and think that's going to make all the difference. Look how close they are. Price never is going to just kiss it to the tick and move on. It just doesn't work like that. You know, it's going to cluster around it. You could probably cherry pick and find evidence where it does it from time to time. But generally speaking, guys, you know, when you're trying to overthink things and put it from a 20 to a 22 to a 21.5 or 100 to 110, you know, that's not going to make any difference. The broad difference is whether you want to go from a slow period to a medium to a fast. So, you know, the way I look at things is I go, right, which one do I want to use for my slow, which do I want to use for my medium, and which do I want to use for my fast? Now you might say, okay, I might want to pick 2 out of those under certain circumstances, but no more than that. So my medium is always going to be a 20. My go-to is a 20-day moving average. My slow, I might look at a 100 period, but that's not really in my strategy. I don't really kind of use it as any type of filter. As such, I prefer to use a medium, and then a fast, which we'll look at in a moment. I'm going to adjust it depending on the trend. So I will go, if we're a really aggressive trend, I will use a 5 and I will also use a 10. I won't go to anything else, but for example, guys, we'll put in an 8 and we'll see what the difference is. You know, when you start to go this small and this kind of quick, if you like, in terms of the speed, there's hardly any difference. You know, a 5 to 10, of course, percentage-wise is a big difference. But if you're kind of going from an 8 to a 10, you're not making much difference. So I will always use a 5 if we have a really aggressive trend on, because a 5 will hug the trend for a long period of time. If you come back and look at this kind of example here, you know, the 5 period, which is this one, keeps pricing on that last exhaustion push-up move, the last little push and drive, keeps you nice and tight, keeps you ability to trail a stop, and when you kind of get the first kiss under after a drive as well, that tends to be a good trigger. But that's by the by, I've done videos where we talked about that exclusively. Now a 10 is almost like the second and third pullback. So you get the initial, when you get a good momentum move, you get the momentum move, the 5 hugs it. The 10 will contain price on the first or the second really deeper pullback, and then when you're talking the third and fourth, that's when your mediums and your slow moving averages come in. So summary, guys, is bucket your moving averages into slow, medium and fast. Slow, I like the 5 and 10. Medium, I like the 20. Sorry, the other way around. Slow, I like the 100 period if I'm using it. Medium, I like the 20 period, and the fast moving averages, I like the 10 and the 5, depending on how, because they're so much more sensitive to price, depending on how price is moving and how aggressive it is. But when you start going from 100 to 105 or 106 or a 98 or all this, I don't think it's worth it. You know, if you look at price, just have a number in your mind, stick to it, and know when you utilize those moving averages. So you say, right, that's a filter for me staying long or getting short. That's a filter for me entering the trade. That's a trigger for me as a trailer. Whatever it is, have your rules, set them, and then don't meddle too much, because we've all been there, guys. We all think that if we adjust and tweak and we find, you know, a special moving average because it's a fib number or because it's a moon cycle number, or, you know, it's the amount of hours divided by the number of days or something crazy, we think that's the holy grail. So keep it simple, have them in buckets is the way that I do it. If that works for you, then great. And moving averages can be a decent tool to help guide you for various things and various filters, various triggers in your trading. Take care, guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.